Hello everyone and welcome back to another sRs Pro weekly review. In these videos guys, we're going over the previous week's interesting setups and examples that formed, at least according to us, and we're covering basically the idea and the setups, the way we see them and the way we would be trading them. So the previous week started from the 15th of March, which gives us that many examples here in the table. By the way, this table you can find on the website srstrendradar.com under this button here, the performance. You will be looking at this table. So let's go ahead and see what do we have starting from the bottom. Maybe we're not going to cover all of them, but we'll go through them in a glance. Euro pound, looking for buys, momentum, agreeing on the bullish side, sentiment not really in agreement here. 2 out of the 3 are showing bearish. See down arrows. So this is the first warning sign that you might want to be using less risk. In terms of the higher time frames, we can see that we have bullish support, but when we look at the lower time frames, it's not completely bullish situation, right? Just by looking at the candles here and the covers, we can see we have predominantly bearish followed by predominantly bullish waves. The highs or the swings on this 15-minute chart are not being broken. So we're kind of playing inside a range here. When that happens, make sure to identify where the strongest points of this range are, the top and the bottom. Because if you start selling anywhere in between the top and the bottom, you want to make sure that you will be collecting profits or whatever it is kind of management. You should be doing it next to these key levels because it's very likely for the price to bounce, right? And it will keep doing that until we got the actual breakout. So here looks like we're starting a push to the upside. And from what I can say, that idea would be based on push up, kind of double wave, right? Breakout, which couldn't switch to the bullish side, the candle, right? Only switched right here after a few candles. And then we're looking at potential bullish setups. This one pushed up. We have Bitcoin sell idea now. This is slightly better in terms of price action, at least for me, because here we can see that we're looking at bearish candles on the higher time frames, which means we're likely experiencing bearish structures there. That being said, we have a tiny consolidation which was broken to the downside very, very aggressively. And that was the place somewhere in between the breakout and the actual bottom. That was the middle ground where the price stopped here for a pause and then continued lower. So that spike coming from this zone was respected, right? 2 times respected. And when we look at it again, only pure price action, we can see push down, consolidation. Okay, it's kind of clear what should we be looking for, especially once we start confirming with the remaining tools and filters that we have based on the software. So this is where you have double wave. This is where you have the breakout. Okay. And this first one would still not be kicked out in stop loss. The second one, however, right here, you have again attempt to be broken, this one, then break below it, and then again switch. Okay, so technically speaking, both these setups are valid right here and right here, once the candle, of course, is red. So this one again pretty clear and makes sense overall, even based on pure price action. DAX is a bit out of the box or out of the manual, we should say. Bullish momentum consolidation, no lows are being broken wherever the previous low right here would be, but this one holds, the price starts to push up. Here, I wouldn't be able to identify a specific trend line to be broken, so I'm not going to draw it there. But on the next stage, we can see some sort of consolidation that was broken right here. And this consolidation is actually breaking and closing above the previous high. So if you want to be talking about this specific setup or scenario as per the manual, what you have here is structure up, creating higher highs, higher lows, and you have a third high being created right here. Okay, so first, second, third one, we have kind of step trading, right? This is what I'm trying to say. Bullish, bullish, bullish momentum, 2 out of the 3 bearish. So that's pretty much what this one is based on. Aussie dollar on the sell side, again, it's important to mention that we have a structure which goes up and down, which means we're likely in some kind of a range here, and that means we should be paying very close attention to the tops and bottoms of this range. Otherwise, in terms of a setup, that could be seen as a double wave here, right? And this double wave broken slightly, few pips to the downside. I personally would not take such, I mean, it is technically correct, okay? It is technically correct, but we're not breaking the low and we kind of creating a spike at the bottom. Plus, I'm pretty sure on some other brokers, what we see here as a breakout below would not be a breakout below. If this is not a real breakout like here, for example, right, it means on some brokers it's not like this, which means some traders are not going to take this trade, or robots are not going to be triggered based on this setup. And that means the price might be pushing in the opposite direction. So this kind of slight breakouts you might want to consider, especially on the lower time frames, because again, it might not be triggering the sells for other people in order for this to become a zone where the price starts chasing the next level. Crude oil, kind of simple setup, I would say. Push down, push up. Again, we have the 2 waves. Now this could be seen as step trading, being this kind of setup, or it could be seen as double wave and the trend line breakout kind of setup, but they're all going to give us pretty much the same thing. The problem with this one is, could be, of course, the lows and the highs, meaning the targets. So in such cases where you don't have, this is the adequate protection. Actually, even this one could be considered a bit aggressive, right? Because this is the actual zone where the price might still go test and then continue. So even this is a bit more aggressive. And if you like the setup, that's what you need to pay in terms of stop loss and pips. And that means you need approximately something like this for the price to provide you. And that's already too low and too far away from the previous swing high. Well, swing high, this is 15-minute chart, but still is the general principle of how you should be looking at the setups. So when that happens, you can either skip the setup, use less risk, okay, or include manual analysis on the higher time frames. And if you, let's say, 1 hour chart and 4 hour charts are supporting your view, and you know that the price should be going beyond this level for some reason, whatever this reason is, cycles, waves, whatever, right? Then it makes sense. But if you're based entirely on the software and you do not have the skills and understanding on how to do analysis on the higher time frames, multi-time frame analysis, and so on, you better skip these kind of setups. You want your target to be right before the swing, right? Unless you have an idea of where the price should be going beyond the current time frame. This is super important. So that's about oil and dollar CAD. Well, we actually covered them all, but we're going with a fast pace, so it's good. Dollar CAD, it starts to create predominantly bullish setup here, multiple bullish candles, right? and this is now breaking above previous levels. That turned bullish. 4-hour chart already switching to the bullish side from this bearish zone. Here we start looking at bullish signs, and this consolidation created a false break. At least I would be treating it as a false break at that stage. Then we're looking at possible breakout to the upside, and this is where the attack would be coming. Okay, unfortunately pushed lower, and that would be losing. So if you have any further questions on any setup, please leave us a comment below or find us in the Telegram groups, and we'll be happy to assist you and discuss the setups further. Thank you and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.